You're listening to the soon-to-be-named network, the Lamborghini of podcast networks. FWP's so good I listen weekly. Welcome to Final Wrestling Place.
I'm Tim.
Oh, I'm still Marcus.
Welcome to episode number 318 of Final Wrestling Place. Available across all your podcasting platforms, including Spotify, YouTube, whatever else other people are using since Google Podcasts is gone. And for those lucky few who have subscribed to the Patreon, you get to see us in the flesh at patreon.com/Final Wrestling Place. Content going to be a heavy content drop will be coming for Patreon. They've been a little neglected. We're a smidge behind, but we're going to make it up with some big content, possibly content that might be put out for free as a little bit of a primer for what's going on. Primer. Yeah, big primer for hey, you guys like fake sports. Ball talk is coming. The NFL preseason. Or the NFL preseason preview with myself and Mr. Marcus and a nice recognizable third chair. Gonna talk all things ball. I think this is our third.
Somebody say something about the lifestyle.
That's right. I think it's going to be third year covering this, but.
So.
This is a spiritual successor to Sports Talks football coverage.
Add those in. I think it's been 5, 6.
You know, it's crazy, but we have a nice tight format we're gonna run with, and looking forward to hearing Marcus, myself, and probably not myself. I'll be directing traffic. But Marcus and our rotating third give their hot takes and hot scoops on what has happened and what might happen in the NFL season this year. But this is the wrestling show. This is the real sports show. And we do have a lot of wrestling to talk about, but not necessarily stuff that might have taken place inside the ring over the last 7 days. Of the wacky things that happen in wrestling. But before we get into that, Marcus, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. You don't want to talk.
I'm not talking about.
I'm just cutting into your Madden time.
I got a Coke here. I'm debating. Do I open this bad boy up at this hour or do I put it back in the fridge later? I don't know. But if I'm feeling like a madman,
Oh, he's mad.
A madman.
He is mad. He's pointing. He's doing the finger head taunt. He's in there. Look at him. Look at him.
I like this finger head taunt.
The EO one is definitely cooler than whatever Gabe Kidd does. I do kind of like Gabe Kidd's crawling on all fours like a beast man. Something about it speaks to me as a person who for the longest time would like walk like that upstairs. And now at an older age, I don't do that anymore. I don't have the heart to monster climb upstairs. One day I'll check to see if I've got it again. But
my test to see if I still got it is the the Batista slap and instant go up the steps.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's my go-to to be like, do I still got it? And one of these days, my Achilles is going to roll up my calf into the back of my leg. And I look forward to it because that will be my sign that I no longer have it. And also the way that I get anabolic steroids and HGH.
It is. Is there anything else that you've kind of like quote unquote lost as you've gotten older? I know we're not necessarily the most oldest. We're not the oldest men in the world, but we're starting to. I've crossed that precipice, and Marcus is crawling behind me. We're starting to get to that age where if you look at like professional athletes, it's like, oh, he's hurt. Maybe he's lost a step.
The two this week were Matt Stafford and Aroldis Chapman, both 37, and talked about as if they are relics and that their bones are going to turn to dust. And I felt that. I felt that. But yeah,
what have you lost? What is the lost some heat on my fastball for Marcus now?
It's having an appetite after like 8:00, 7:30. Like, even if I haven't eaten all day and I'm starving, like it's like just a couple bites of whatever, and like I'm good. I'm good. We will hold off until noon tomorrow. Just a nibble is good. And yeah, even if I try to like do a throwback and have a pizza or something super late, it's like 70-30, 70 I'll be totally fine, but then sometimes that 30 slips in there and it's like, oh, my belly hurts, my throat hurts a little bit, I don't feel so good. I might have to sit up extra late to make sure that my food is digested before I even attempt to lay down, or else my throat is going to be like, what is you doing, baby? We ain't going to sleep. You sitting up. So yeah, that's my CC Sabathia, Justin Verlander, Max Scherzer lost some heat on my fastball moment. What's yours?
Mine is very similar. It's if knowing my cutoff time for specific foods. Used to be able to eat whatever, whenever, no problem. Now, if there is a red sauce involved, or a red sauce adjacent thing going on, 8:00. That is the cutoff time. I cannot, if we're doing dinner and pizza gets there at 8:00, pizza is my favorite food. Unless I know I'm staying awake until 3 a.m.
Yeah.
That pizza's not getting eaten because I love my mom with all of my heart, all of my soul. She gave me acid reflux. She had it, I have it. And so I have pizza and I lay down too soon, I'm probably throwing up, dude. Like it's not even I'm sick thing. It's like I get the bubble throats.
Yeah.
And it's not great. It definitely sucks. I've played a very dangerous game with myself lately, because I used to have Prilosec on hand. That was like the instant pizza chaser, especially if like I'm cutting close to that line. Prilosec before, I'm solid.
Plan P.
Yeah, Plan P. I can go for it, and we can make it work. And nothing dehumanizes me more than having to like be mindful of when I eat something.
Yeah.
I just, man.
Let us know the heat that you lost on your fastball.
Yes.
The Final Wrestling Place channel at the soon to be named network Discord. You get access to that if you don't already by signing up through Ad Odds or something like that. I don't know.
Right.
Give somebody money, or give us a holler. Maybe we'll let you in. I don't know.
Yeah.
Call us pretty. Buy us dinner. And you're good.
I don't even need that. Just be like, yo, you had one cool take on the podcast. And all right, cool. Which one? No, you can lie
I'm a
about
sucker for
that.
flattery. I'm a sucker for
Oh,
flattery.
it goes a long way. It does go a long way.
It does.
But on this week's episode of Final Wrestling Place, we're going to talk gateway matches, but not how you think. How the same building can look different twice. But first, voicemail. 757-354-3070 is the number to call. Feel free to leave any voicemails you got for us. Doesn't necessarily have to be wrestling related. We love to talk about almost anything. So if there's something cool you watched in wrestling from the modern week, or if you watched something old that rocked, or you have thoughts and opinions that you want to talk about, or you want to hear us talk about it, 757-354-3070. It's a voicemail line. It's a text line. Get in where you fit in. This week, it is the lifestyle. It's the week. It's a holiday weekend, man. I understand everybody's got stuff going on. Cookouts galore. Lifestyle got in under the buzzer with a voicemail.
What up, boys? It's Brett. It's late. I'm getting this in real late. It's fine. Queen Eminata's real sick and real dope and real cool, and she hits people for real. Give me your best like Mel Kiper outlook right now for Queen Eminata. What's the ceiling? Where are we going? World champ? Is that what we're doing? TBS champ? Is she gonna go to Stardom and kill everybody, which would be kind of dope? Let me know. Enjoy your weekend. I'm enjoying my vacation. Peace.
Thank you, Brett. I love Queen Aminata.
Okay.
And this is definitely going to be a compliment sandwich, but it might be an open-faced compliment sandwich because the compliments at the very beginning. I love Queen Aminata. I love everything that she does. I think she's fantastic. Unfortunately, Jamie Hayter's back, and Jamie Hayter's going to take that spot. And that's not anything against Queen Aminata. I think 99 times out of 100, everybody takes the on-paper upgrade, air quotes, of Jamie Hayter over Queen Aminata. With that said, I think her ceiling is actually the Ring of Honor television women's TV title. I don't necessarily think she's ever going to like break through the glass ceiling and get a shot at any major AEW gold. Maybe like the AEW women's tags, if and ever they come. But I don't see her being AEW Women's World Champion. I don't see her being TBS champion. I don't see her becoming Ring of Honor Women's World Champion. I think she's going to end up falling into this trap of being like a really good challenge for an upcoming championship contender. She's like match 2, like thinking Chikara wise, like to get your 3 points. She is contender 2. She's not the tomato can you beat first, but she's not like the Chuck Liddell wall stopper that protects the title from Tito. I think she's right there in the middle, and I think that's where her life is going to end up being. And that's not any offense to her. It's just on the AEW women's roster, there's probably 8 girls above her. And I don't foresee any of them like dropping beneath her to have her get that opportunity, unless like there's a slew of injury, which I don't want. AEW's had enough of catastrophic injury. We don't need more. So, but what's your thoughts on Queen Aminata and what's her ceiling? What's her floor?
Mel Kiper style, you can get second round value out of the fourth round pick here. I think she can fill in some gaps. I think that she can, whether it's somebody needs to take a break, injury, whatever. I think she can be used like regularly on TV. But I mean, you mentioned kind of injury and definitely not wishing injury, but I think if there's any circumstances where somebody's hurt, something unexpected happens, and they have to do a four-way, kind of like they did with the TNT title, I think Aminata picking up a win kind of as a surprise, as like a make good for card subject to change. I think that's probably how she'll get her opportunity. Oh, there's that word again.
Yeah, unfortunately, like I'm taking a look at the AEW women's roster on the AEW site right now. Women I have unfortunately over Queen Aminata as far as like there's no particular order. I'm just going because they're in alphabetical order. Alex Windsor, Athena, Jamie Hayter. I'm not counting Hikaru Shida because I don't know when she's going to be back. Until she's back, she's off.
Mm-hmm.
Stat, Megan Bain, Mercedes, Mina, Tekla, Tony Storm, Willow Nightingale, and then even people that are on the roster but don't wrestle all the time, like Yuka, Hikaru Shida, Riho. Like those are going to be people that are going to be positioned above Queen Aminata. Maybe not Yuka. I think Yuka might be on the same level, but Riho probably would be if she came back. Shida would if she came back. At least to start. Now maybe there's like a Shida Aminata program you could run that could catapult Aminata up using like Shida's title history, her title lineage, multiple time AEW Women's World Champion. But yeah, unfortunately, she's just in the thick of it, and like, it's not an offense to Aminata. It's just you got to look
until
at.
There's more matches and more opportunity for the women. It's going to be tough for anybody to kind of break through where they're already above. Like,
Right.
I mean, we're seeing Julia Hart, who was like as hot as anybody. What, 2 years ago?
Less
Is that when
than
that
that.
was? A year ago?
Probably
Less than that?
a little more than a year.
And, you know, Mercedes coming in and then her getting hurt kind of poured some cold water on that. And she's had a tough time getting back to where she was. And we've seen a couple start stops with Jamie Hayter for whatever reason. Yeah, it's just, until there's more TV time and more matches for the women, I think it's going to be tough for anybody to take a step up. I think you can grow like what your role is, if that makes sense. Like what Aminata and Tekla did, just like, we kind of created something out of nothing, and maybe they got thrown into a couple extra like 8-person tag or 8-woman tags or whatever, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
Getting on stuff, and you got like the cool angle at the pay-per-view. But that's not moving anybody up the card.
Right.
It's getting you on the show, and that's a start for sure, but nobody's moving up the card because of that. So yeah, until there's more, kind of maximize your minutes that way. But great call from the lifestyle.
For
Always
sure.
happy to hear from the big dog. Man's got to eat.
That's right. And again, like, it's not an indictment against Aminata. Like, I don't want it to come across as sour grapes and not loving what she's doing. I think that there's a really good possibility that she could be like a 2025 rookie of the year. Because I think is this her first real meaningful year in wrestling, especially for AEW?
So that's where like grumpy me is gonna kick in. I'm just kind of weary of people that have already had a couple start stops. If you kind of started like right around the pandemic and you've already had a couple start stops for whatever reason, I'm kind of like, but she seems in it. Seems in it. Consistently used, so good for her.
So last year was her Dynamite debut, January 3rd, 2024.
Okay.
But she was used on and off.
Yeah.
She was on in like April and then not back on until July and then gone and then not back
like
on until
6 or 7
October.
times before they kind of committed to bringing her aboard.
Right.
She was one of those like, oh, she's having great matches. Why don't they sign her? And the risk when you do that is you kind of show everything that you can do in your handful of matches. And then it's like, okay, well, why sign you if you've already done everything that you can do and we've already had everybody beat you? But, they did right by her. They signed her. And, she's making the most of it. I think now it's just a matter of consistency. It's a matter of staying there. I mean, we've seen both men and women have to stick around for 6, 7, 8 years until you finally get that opportunity and just doing consistent work whenever you're called upon. But yeah.
And I think that's what's great about Queen Aminata in this position is this run that she's had against Tekla really turned her from being an also ran in the AEW women's division to being a name, like a recognizable name that, you want to see get a win.
Yeah.
I mean, she's kind of in that space Willow was in until Willow started winning. Because if you remember when Willow was first being featured for AEW, she would get put in really good matches and she'd show out, but she couldn't get the job done.
Yeah.
And I feel like Aminata's right in that same spot. It's just when Willow was doing it, there wasn't as well. Yeah, there was, because you pretty much had all the same major players, except you didn't have Mercedes, but you did have Mariah May.
And you had Britt.
You had Britt, and Britt was eating up a roster spot.
Yeah. Thunder Rosa.
Yeah.
So yeah, similar circumstance for sure.
Very similar circumstances. So, but thank you, Brett. Appreciate you. One thing we don't appreciate is double talk sometimes. And that gets us to point one, and it's something that I was thumbing through social media, just like and it wasn't like I was even looking for a fight or I wasn't looking to see what somebody was saying, but AEW, we know through Ad Odds and We Need Wrestling, AEW has started their residency at the 2300 Arena.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, there's talk on both sides of the aisle, right? There's a lot of people who thought that Dynamite looked great, that them being in the 2300 is really cool. And of course, there's the other side of the coin, whether they're being genuine or not, that are very contrarian to it. And the one tweet that I saw came from former WWE referee Jimmy Corderas, who tweeted after Dynamite, "Tony is way too obsessed with the idea of running the ECW arena It looks small, like I knew it would, but it lacks the grittiness that made ECW cool. Instead, you've got an HD production coming out of a bingo hall. What a downgrade from 1,800 or 18,000 at their last show in 02. Jimmy then continues to go on and tweet around other people's conversations about this. And I'm trying to scroll down a little bit. I have it clipped for the screen or for the podcast image, but I didn't save them for here.
Yeah. While you're
but
looking, just in case
yes,
we do
go
have
ahead.
new fans who are newer to wrestling, ECW was a long time ago. So the 2300 Arena, located in South Philly, used to be a bingo hall, a small, intimate type venue, which would fill wrestling fans, attention deficit criminals, as lovingly called, into this small venue to watch the promotion ECW, which was a hardcore wrestling promotion, kind of bringing together some of the more wild, out of control angles and booking of the different territories, and a little bit of a sampling of everything from around the world. So yeah, I mean, I think it's weird because WWE just ran there with NXT, and I thought when NXT ran there, I was like, it looks like a WWE show in a small place, whatever. But when AEW ran there, I was like, oh, that's the ECW arena in 2025. And coming from somebody who was blessed, I guess, to be able to train there and be there, spend a decent amount of time there, pre-renovations, post-renovations, that grittiness is gone. It's gone. It, like, the structure of the building is the same, but I mean, the place was basically gutted, completely redesigned. Everything's renovated. Doesn't exist. You could not refabricate that grittiness. Just can't do it. It's not possible. So I don't get what Jimmy Corderas is trying to get at there, and he's also talking out of both sides of his mouth there. Like, is it a bougie small arena or is it a bingo hall?
Mm-hmm.
Which one is it?
Is it a place that has reverence, that has meaning in wrestling history, or is it just a building that also did bingo? Right, like it is kind of the double speak, and there's more double speak in that as well. Going through the replies for this, somebody replied, "It looks like NXT to me, same type of setup." And Jimmy Corderas goes, "Disagree. NXT appears more polished. The gritty look they were going for, the spirit of ECW does not translate with this presentation." He carries on to say, in another tweet, "My argument for this would be, quote, NXT doesn't run their pay-per-views out of major arenas or stadiums and tout record-breaking attendance records." Jimmy Corderas replied to that tweet saying, "NXT is the C brand, apples and oranges. This is an AEWA show. Huge difference." The last point he says, person tweets, "Respectfully disagree. The nature of the ECW arena aside, it looks so cool and different. The closer intimacy makes fans feel like they're a part of something. To which Corderis replied, if you feel that way, good. But perception is reality to TV execs watching tonight, if in fact they are. And so in my head, and this goes along with the conversations we've had before on this podcast, on podcasts across the net, it's nostalgia glasses and who can wear them and who can't wear them. Because I'm in the camp where AEW is in a damned if they do, damned if they don't type situation. Where if they try to make it AEW and the old ECW arena, then they're going to get yelled at for putting, quote, lipstick on a pig and making the 2300 barely recognizable with all the HD and the bright lights and the boards and stuff like that. But if they pare it down and they try to be an ECW imitation, then you get tweets like what Jimmy Corderis said, where Tony just wants to run the ECW arena and he's going to do a bastardized version of ECW where, you know, he's making it look gritty, but it's really like no one can capture what ECW was from 25 years ago in that building. And AEW just can't win in the court of public opinion on this. I mean, yes, is
30,
it 30?
Yeah. It's more, it's
closer to 30. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So, I think the other point, I think all that's great too. And of course, this was going to be the WWE branded talking point, but put out by their bots. But to me, it was more of a tribute to wrestling in Philly than it was just an ECW tribute. Yes, there were some callbacks to ECW, and that was great. But to me, I was like, oh, this reminds me of CZW. This reminds me, oh, there's a Shikara nod. Oh, ROH. Like, there's a lot more wrestling that happened a lot more recently in that building than the 6-ish, 7 years of ECW.
Right.
RIP 37 years ago or whatever.
Right.
Again, it's just a lazy talking point, and it's going to get people going. And so much of that is WWE kind of dictating the terms and the history of that by going, oh, well, that building is only known for ECW because of ECW. And when you got a wrestling nerd like Tony, no, there's a lot more in that building than just ECW. And I thought Tony did a great job of representing that and kind of paying homage to a lot of the different companies that work there and ran that building.
Right. I mean,
and
go ahead.
One more thing, the TV executive point. Who's to say TV executives want the wrestling on their programming to look exactly like WWE, including 10, 12,000 people or whatever? If it looks full and it has great energy and it looks different while also being a visual comp to what WWE can do production-wise, feels pretty consistent with the Warner Brothers executives, or Turner, that's what they want. And that's what AEW has done pretty much since its inception. And the whole thing about 18,000 versus 2,500 or whatever. Yeah, who needed 18,000 people in a building consistently? Vince McMahon, because his money was coming from WWE. Who doesn't? Tony Khan and AEW, because their money's not coming from just the gate.
Right.
It's the difference between a millionaire and a billionaire.
Right.
And seems like Tony's got a great relationship with Turner, and Turner's like, yeah, we'll show the alternative. We'll cut into the market share, make it look good, and it looks great.
It does. It looks great, and for those who say that it doesn't look like, or like the NXT show looked more gritty, here's probably a reason why it looked gritty. NXT's color scheme is silver and black, and Dynamite's is literally the colors of the rainbow.
Well,
did you want AEW to like mute their color tone for their residency at the 2300? Did you want them to go grayscale? Like, no. It's different. You know, the brandings are different. And
they could stand to white balance those cameras. Shout out Just Bones.
Right. I mean, that's true. That's true. White balancing is hard. It is an inexact science. You do it early and often. That's what commercial breaks are for. But it just pisses me off. And like, not in either way, because again, it pisses me off because of the bad faith actors who are like making this argument. But nobody, like, the one thought that I'm not hearing, or the one side that I'm not hearing, is like, and this might be my rose-colored glasses, glass over half full thought process, but it's like, it's cool that we can start to look at a building like the 2300 as a, maybe not a regular bed for wrestling, but televised, it being in the rotation of some really some small, cooler vibe buildings. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think that the 2300 for the longest time, especially to televised promotions, was always looked at as too small for TV. Like, it may be big enough for independent pay-per-view,
Right.
or things like that, but WWE would have never thought to run, if they were still doing ECW One Night Stand. There's a reason they picked the Manhattan Center and not the 2300.
Hammerstein, don't get us sued.
Oh,
but yeah.
What did I say?
Manhattan Center.
Oh, sorry. Upstairs.
Wrong. Yeah.
Upstairs. But they chose the Hammerstein over the 2300. And that's because of look, and because like the Hammerstein has a more iconic, recognizable look. And that's because the 2300 got turned into a black box theater. Like the 2300 is designed in such a way that it encourages its inhabitants to be as creative as they wish to be. And the building the building will not carry the personality. It is whatever you fit in it that will.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know,
which I thought was awesome. AEW set up in the corner like ECW did. Like, I thought that was great.
Right. Except
and
now,
awesome that like Darby could incorporate the load bearing pole like into the match. Like, I thought that was awesome.
Right. You know, and if I'm fairly certain that if Paul Heyman had access to an LED board or a big light wall for ECW, I bet he would have done it. He'd have done it. So again, it makes me mad that instead of focusing on like the positives of running the 2300 and it being a contested place and things like that, instead it's AEW bad both ways, AEW or NXT good both ways, and that's all there is to say about it. Also, quietly, I don't know if you saw this. Did you see that WWE announced that they're coming back to Philly the last day of the NXT residency and doing a show at the Met?
The AEW residency?
NXT is coming back the last day of the AEW residency.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and they're running a show at the Met.
Good luck. Cool, whatever.
Like, it just, that goes along with if AEW is not a challenge, why do you keep booking against them?
Yeah,
Why do you keep trying at every corner?
It's not unlike, the NWA booking the Civic Center in Philly and WWE booking the Spectrum or the Convention Center, the Philly Convention Center. Like, it's their old tricks. And last point about Corderis's tweet talking about like, NXT is WWE's C brand. AEW is Tony Khan's like C brand as a venture. Like, best case scenario, it's a C brand when you add up all his ventures. So just like, what, it's the difference again. It's the difference between trying to make somebody a millionaire and what a billionaire can do.
Right.
Yeah, hey, our allegiance is not allegiance, but our preferences are known, and I like that AEW runs different looking places. I like that their TV doesn't look like it happens from the same arena every single week, and the only way I would know any different is in between commercials, getting propaganda for that town.
Right.
I like that AEW looks different. We talked about it for so long. Miss when wrestling shows used to run here and there, blah, blah, blah. And AEW's doing it. And I think it rocks. Jimmy Corderas can kick rocks.
Exactly. Because back when AEW was running the buildings that people wanted to run, they weren't filling them out. And that's not necessarily AEW's fault.
Right, those things get booked out 6 months, a year in advance, and you have to, unless that building manager has other buildings that you can run for TV, which a lot goes into that. Then
not everything has the infrastructure for it.
Right, you got to keep your commitment to that building, and sometimes you get those buildings on sweetheart deals. Sometimes you get those buildings because you're doing the building guy a favor and putting something in there on a Wednesday when there's not a basketball or hockey game going on. And so it's more of a favor to the building people than it is what the wrestling company needs. It's a two-way street.
Right.
Because when you want to run a pay-per-view and it's, we've got a concert the day before, or we've got a game the next night, and you need favors with staffing and turning over the building and parking and concessions and all this stuff, you need those relationships. Yeah,
you making the point is like you take a bad deal early to get a good deal later. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's quid pro quo, Mr. Wayne. And that's what it is. And so, hey man, it just bums me out that this crap comes up and we got to do what we do and the whole deal. So either way, the last thing that we need to run about this week, because it's a very hypothetical show, and that is, we've had this conversation before in a different light of, if you're a WWE fan and you want to try to convert somebody to AEW, what AEW match would you show them to convince them to take a look at something else? And in my head, WWE fans are too WWE pilled. that if you tried to feed them an AEW sandwich, they're going to snuff it out. So our thought experiment is, of the most recent stuff from WWE that we've watched, I'll say within the last 12 months. So that goes, we'll basically say from last SummerSlam to this SummerSlam.
Okay.
What matches from WWE would you show a WWE fan and be like, if you like this, you'll love AEW?
Okay.
That's what I mean. Is that what matches have WWE done that feel like a natural bridge to get people into what to expect normally in AEW, that they would be like, I loved this. I maybe get this once a year in WWE, but I can get it like once a month in AEW, and the more is more conversation.
Yeah.
So is there anything you can think of that you think might be a decent gateway from WWE to AEW?
Yeah. So I have two different angles at it. And I think these are two strengths of AEW that WWE can't lean into, because one, they won't, and two, they don't have the roster to do it anymore. So one thing that AEW does that WWE usually can't, won't, gives you the violence, the gore, the blood and butts. So Punk McIntyre from Bad Blood last year, if you like a long story culminating in a bloodbath where eventually the bad guy gets his, watch that. And then there's plenty of that in AEW, like the Will Ospreay Kyle Fletcher cage match, which was sick.
Also, both of those cage matches happened like a week apart or close to it.
Yeah, pretty close. The Texas Death Match that just happened at Y'all In. There's plenty. I say plenty, but like there is a really healthy amount of that in AEW. So that's my number one. Do you have one to throw in there?
I do, and I want to make sure I have the right date for that. Because I'm gonna go in the same vein as you as far as the violence goes, but I'm gonna pick a different match because I think people might, especially if they're WWE fans who know of AEW and they hear CM Punk, they're going to think, CM Punk, the guy that left AEW, I don't like that. So, my first selection is going to be from this year's this year's Elimination Chamber show. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
Okay.
You get an equal amount of violence. Because it's pretty much a street fight. It's as close as WWE is going to get to Texas Death. Right. And it's with dudes who can wrestle. There's not and they're AEW sized. They're AEW. You would dare say that in maybe a different life, if maybe a butterfly flaps its wings 2 times harder once, that both Sammy and Kevin are an AEW superstar or an AEW wrestler and not a WWE superstar, right? You could see a world in which that could happen. So to show them this is like, hey, if you love this, AEW gives this to you on the regular. Like, you don't have to wait long for something that feels passionate, something that feels real, genuine, authentic, whatever analogies or comparison words you want to use for it.
Story.
Story, actual story, not anything vain like
lore.
Dude stole my shoes, or dude stole my friendship bracelet, or dude stole whatever. This was cool. And you can also lean into the fact that maybe those fans may know the history of Sammy and Kevin. And like you can do some loose connective strings of, oh, well, when most of their lore was built, it was back at this time, and they were wrestling with this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, and they're all here at this new place. And they were all having really great matches too, if you remember. So my first offering is Sammy Kevin from Elimination Chamber.
Nice. My second offering and final offering focuses on the athleticism and action that AEW brings. That usually WWE doesn't have the horses for. Which is why they will try to tell you that they are so reliant on story and that that's what you really want. And I'm going with, from this year's WrestleMania, Night 2 Triple Threat to open the show, Rhea Ripley, Io, and Bianca.
Yeah.
I thought was incredible action. Great character work by everybody as well. But it also came down to like, who's the best? And even though there was a lot of sports entertainment that was forced into the build, because the build to WrestleMania was way too long, going on at like the end of April or whatever, like at the core of that program, it was about the title. And it was about like, who's the champ, who's the best. And that's something that AEW really focuses on, and is really good about. Where, hey, being champion matters, winning the title matters, being able to say that you're the best, or being able to have a claim that you're the best, that really matters. So yeah, that's my second offering to a WWE baby.
Yeah, that sounds right. My answer going to be very similar to yours, but slightly different. So I love the idea of doing a women's match in this. I would personally lean towards the match that started that build to WrestleMania. And I'm going with the Raw Women's Championship match from the first Raw on Netflix, or one of the first Raws on Netflix, March 3rd of 2025, Rhea defending against Io Sky. The first matchup for them, where Io wins the title. You get the athleticism, you get the one-on-one, you have story. There's a history there between the women. It's a styles clash between speed versus strength that is a very easy story to tell. Can a person avoid being caught? Can the person catch the faster person? And there's a lot of analogy to what AEW does on a regular basis to this, where you have two world-class wrestlers going out there and just throwing caution to the wind and just having a dude's
Wrestling.
rock moment, right? Like actual wrestling. And it's like, I guess you could say it might be sensory overload when you come to the AEW and you just get pretty much all bangers or most bangers, where WWE, it's like, oh, this ended in DQ, and this also ended in DQ, and this ended by a count out. And you wonder what else did that? The WWE Attitude Era.
Right. We're sitting around waiting for the end of the match.
Right.
Because that's when
Like,
something interesting is going to happen, as opposed to AEW, where the interesting thing is the match and the action.
And in WWE, the interesting thing is the stuff that happens in between the matches.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm able to follow WWE easier than AEW, because if I want to follow WWE, I literally just need to watch the promos.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. You don't have to, you literally can read the results of who pinned who, but you got to watch the promo segments. Anything that's not a match is what's important in WWE. And with the four examples we gave, especially in a vacuum, those are things where the emphasis was put on the in-ring stuff, and all the outside stuff was just supplemental to make the in-ring match bigger and better. So I think we done good. Is there anything else, or is those only the two examples you had from maybe the last year?
No, those were the only two. I just say, if anybody's listening who hasn't checked out AEW or hasn't checked out AEW recently, like one of the things I really appreciate about AEW, and you can just look at the last pay-per-view, Forbidden Door, is that AEW is really good about giving you a little bit of everything, as opposed to WWE, which kind of just gives you, like, maybe you'll get a meat slapper. Usually, it's on TV, but maybe you'll get that on a pay-per-view. There's AEW, look, their pay-per-view, like, they had meat slapping, they had violence and spectacle, they had athletic wrestling, they had heel stooging, they had great tag team action, they had story, and they had, like, that hold for hold wrestling, which, like, I care for Nigel and Zack Sabre. No, that's not for me. But I can respect that something is being brought out and it's of the highest quality in the world that you can get, and it is for the people that it's for, and I can respect that. And okay, this match wasn't for me, maybe the next match will be. Whereas WWE, you're getting that same house style every single match. That can,
Yes, sir.
can be grating. So yeah, short show.
A little bit. I started going down a weird rabbit hole, and I'm looking at new WWE shirts. I love laughing at some of this family friendly, some of this stuff. I know AEW may or may not have the best t-shirt design in the world sometimes, but what is this?
Can't even make out who was on the shirt.
Here we go. This is the MFT shirt.
Wait, the infamous
Tongaloa, JC Mateo, actually Tala Tonga, and Young Solo.
Where's
Yep.
Where's Tama Tong?
Yep, couldn't tell you.
He must be hurt.
He must be hurt for real.
$35.
Yeah. Here's Big Bonza shirt. Tribal Thief. Yep.
No.
Tribal Thief shirt. If I just showed you this shirt right here, it's Weepa time.
I don't know what that means.
Wepa. There it is. Wepa.
Okay.
Who has It's Wepa Time shirt?
I would think Zelina Vega, but I can tell by the design that that's Damian Priest.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever heard Damian Priest ever say this in the history of ever. But
unfortunately, I haven't seen a lot of Damian. I also haven't been watching WWE.
I have also not. I've not as well, but it doesn't sound like something Damian would say. Hey, guess who's got a shirt now? Omos, but branded for AAA and WWE. It took long enough to get there. Here's the main event.
Oh my gosh!
Of bad shirts. It is a badass Braun Breaker shirt. Speed limit 23 miles an hour because that's how fast he runs the ropes, apparently.
So, how bad is he if he does the speed limit?
Right. Well, no, he is the speed limit.
So wouldn't a bad booty break the speed limit?
You know, you'd think, right?
Makes no sense.
Yeah, man, but it's on sale. With the code PIN1, you get 10%, you get $10 off your shirt.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Wolf
Fanatics is really doing it to him. Feels good,
as
man.
Buzz, your girlfriend. Wolf.
Yes. Tons of woofs across the board. But yeah, I think this might be on the lighter end, unless we want to play a reverse version of Does Joe Know the Card, except Clash at the Castle happened today. I don't know if you have any idea on what happened, or if you want to take a guess.
I know it's Clash in Paris.
Okay, do you want to guess? If I give you the card, you have literally no knowledge of what happened at Clash in Paris?
No.
So let's see how for babies WWE is. If we go through and could Marcus accurately guess what happened at Clash in Paris?
Okay.
6 matches.
All right.
Okay. Opener, Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed.
Big Dog up, but I'm guessing Big Dog gets Bonza dropped a bunch of times to get injured out so he can come back again. Maybe during a weaker Monday Night Football game. Maybe around Survivor Series.
22 minutes, Roman Reigns beats Bronson Reed. And then immediately after the match, Braun Breaker comes out and spears Roman. And then Bonza drops 2 bonsais on him, one with him laying on a gurney attached to a backboard. Okay. And Roman was stretchered out of the Paris LA Defense arena. Match 2 for the WWE Tag Team Championships. It is the Wyatt Six versus the cosplaying as Borderland 4 characters, Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins, the Street Profits.
Wyatt family up?
Wyatt family is up. Yes.
Okay.
For the women's Intercontinental title, Becky Lynch defends against Nikki Bella.
Oh, Becky.
Becky up. In a good old-fashioned Donnybrook match, Sheamus versus Rusev.
Rusev up. They got to try to establish him with some wins.
4 for 4.
Okay.
John Cena, Logan Paul.
John Cena.
How long was the match?
Cena, Logan Paul.
Here's a reference point. Roman Bronson was 22 minutes 5 seconds.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess Cena Logan Paul was right around 20.
26:20 was the longest match of the night.
26.
Yeah, in the match, they ran back a whole bunch of spots of John Cena's rivals.
Okay.
Like Logan Paul did the zigzag, so a little nod to Ziggler and Cena.
Styles Clash or something.
A Styles Clash. Cena hit End of Days on Logan for
Anybody
a 2
hit a Swagger
count.
Bomb?
Oh no Swagger Bomb.
Dang.
We got a Cena Code Red again.
Of course.
Yeah.
Can opener. Anybody hit that can opener gimmick?
I don't even know if Kevin Owens is gonna hit that can opener ever again. If he does, I'll mark out for it. But main event. So to set the stage, because of the vicious attack on Roman Reigns, afterwards, Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker were removed from the building. Paul Heyman was sustained injuries after Roman Reigns got his hands on him after the match.
Okay.
So Seth Rollins went it alone in the Fatal 4-Way.
Right.
So who wins? Rollins, Punk, Uso, Knight.
Rollins wins, but how do you clear out 3 of your top baby faces? Got to have interference.
Okay.
Which means probably a new member of the group.
Okay.
I mean, they got 3 dudes, Heyman. But, so, I mean, they could use a woman in the group. It's not Pam.
No.
Pam's doing her own thing. It's not Lyra. Too close and still trying to get her over as a face.
Mm-hmm.
Not Nikki Bella. She just lost.
Right.
Not Rhea. No, Rhea's babyface. Why did I even say that?
Right.
Not Rhea. Not Nia, not Tiffany.
You're dancing around it.
Did they do Becky?
Becky Lynch hit CM Punk with a low blow during a go to sleep after Seth Rollins said, "I hate you. I hate your family." To Punk. So
no.
we're getting Punk AJ versus Becky Seth. Oh my goodness. WrestlePalooza. Ha. Whatever.
Cool.
But congratulations, man. You went 6 for 6 on a wrestling pay-per-view you didn't watch or had any idea on the build-up to.
I've watched way too much WWE in my lifetime.
Yeah.
When was the last SummerSlam?
It was probably SummerSlam.
Last bit? Yeah. Yeah. I haven't watched a second of Raw or SmackDown or anything. Have not seen anything from the show. Even on Twitter, nothing. It is completely removed from my algorithm. Except for
the only reason
when Kathy Kelly, she pops up. Miss Pam. So I'm guessing I didn't see anything, so I don't know if they were there or not. But
I think Kathy Kelly was doing pre-show stuff.
Okay.
But the only reason I know what happened at Clash at Paris is because I had a feeling this was going to be a short show. So I wanted to familiarize myself to maybe fill some time in on the podcast.
Yeah. We didn't talk about Jack Swagger
getting owned.
I mean, getting owned, but also, I mean, shout out Jack Swagger. We used to live in a time where, you finished up your run, kind of started burning some of your bridges. You would do a shoot interview. Yeah, you would tell a bunch of lies, but we were willing to accept it. But you also told some truths in there, and weren't afraid to burn some bridges. Because hey, Vince is gonna call me any day. I'm heading back to WWE any day now. Heading back to New York anytime. Yeah. Shout out Jack Swagger, spilling some tea, being messy. It's good for the business. Now, what's also good for the business is the fact that Cash the Flash, all he had to do was send a link to that dude, and that dude apologized. How much power do you have to just send a link to somebody? No notes, no further comment, no nothing. And they hit you with the, oh man, my bad. My bad. You see what had happened was Cash Wheeler is a bad dude. That's what I gathered from this week. Cash Wheeler is a bad dude.
He is not necessarily to be trifled with at all. He is a man who may or may not keep that thing on him.
Yeah. I mean, I know like Jack Swagger, people kind of go, whatever, but like that's a legit dude who could legit beat up like 99% of people on this planet.
I mean, we saw the Hitman. We saw the Hitman in action during the Hall of Fame.
Jack Swagger, I'm talking about. Could
oh,
beat
you
up
mean Swagger?
People, yeah. But old Cash to flash that link. He's in that 1%.
Yeah, he's the one hitter quitter. He's a bad man. I don't encourage seeing Tough Enough anymore, or not Tough Enough, Brawl for All. But I would like to see what Cash would do in Brawl for All. I think he's just crazy enough.
Like, I don't think you can hurt that dude. Like, he is built just right where I don't think you can hurt him.
Yeah, he's like he's small and he's short enough, and
he's always got leverage.
Enough. Yeah. And he's thick enough that you're not gonna beat him. Like you're not gonna beat him down. Like he's a meat tank. He's a meat shield.
Yeah.
Take a hit and still be able to put in damage.
You can get hose.
He's not bald. You get the hose. That's right.
You can get hose. Line of the year.
Yes. Marcus, did you buy anything this week?
No purchases for me.
No purchases for me, except big ups to my man Kenny hitting me up with the Chase Monday Night War Great Muda.
All right.
The Japanese characters on the face and the different pants. So now I got to figure out what I'm doing with this other NWO painted up Muda. He might be coming out of the box. Who knows?
Ooh.
He'd be my first wrestler, I think, to have 2 Lucy figs on my desk.
High praise.
It is high praise. I think I'm just running out of space to put these guys, so I'm gonna need to invest in like a small desk display, kind of like how DJ has one set up at his computer. I need that. I need that look. But I also need to get a lot of this crap off the side of my desk. Like, I'm glad the webcam shows like this and you can't see anything from like right here is my water bottle. But from the edge of this camera over is candles, work stuff, snacks, lighters, pens, maybe like a container of mood enhancers, just like a varied assortment of disarray over here. But I think I told this story on Deep Impact, which will be coming out this week as well. But Kenny, when he hit me up with the new Muda figure, he gave me a bunch of other stuff. But he gave me 2 wristbands. And it's a really cool thought. I appreciate him, except there's some iconography on the
Let's see, it
bands.
says, hashtag Fly Eagles Fly and Philly Sports Trips.
Oh, sorry, I have the wrong side for that. I need to turn it around. Here it is. There we go.
Oh, go Birds.
Even worse. He hit me with the Sour Patch Kids. He hit me with the sweet and the sour. I'll keep them as a sign of respect to Kenny, but under absolutely no circumstances will I ever be caught dead wearing either of these bracelets. No, not going to happen. Sorry. I might have accidentally put on one. This is cool because I only saw the one side of the text. And then when I looked at it and then I saw Fly Eagles Fly, I was like, oh no, off. Get me out of here. So that's that. Marcus, do you have anything you need to plug?
No plugs for me.
Fair enough, man. Soon to be named network.tumblr.com. It is the home of the soon to be named network. Find every show that gets posted on there, including shows from friends of the network as well, all aggregated there. As long as we let Joe know that we're on a podcast, even if we go visit another show, he'll put it up there as well. He does the yeoman's work on that. Soon to be named network.tumblr.com, at STBN Network on Twitter to get the live up-to-date feed. But the network is proud to host a ton of shows, including but not limited to our wrestling offerings of At Odds with Wrestling with Joe and Adam and We Need Wrestling with DJ and Brett. Give them both a listen, subscribe to the At Odds Patreon. Subscribe to our Patreon, patreon.com/Final Wrestling Place. Check that out at your leisure. Again, Deep Impact this week, Fake Sports this week. Hope to get back on a roll for Deep Impact stuff. We're already through 2 months of Impact. Kind of crazy. But tons of fun over there. So that's a fun little watch along show for you guys as well. If you need to follow us or find out where we do anything on the podcast, hit up our linktree/Final Wrestling Place. It'll take you to the most up-to-date thing for everything that we do. We will be back here next week to talk more wrestling, but Marcus, right now, all that's left is to tell the people goodbye.
Bye, y'all.